Up.
I look. No, nah, she. Mm-hmm. Man, that been so. Well, well, here's the thing about it, because Lil Bird told me pretty much it. Told me the real reason why Bethesda went again bought out by Microsoft is to avoid a certain lawsuit they was kind of facing at the moment. Shoot. I have not know pretty much it, but I will say this though. I feel like it is kind of good, but then again, it's like okay. Like I don't really give a crap about it because the thing about it with both of the companies, and let's be honest, both companies suck. Don't give a
Yeah.
choice. Both in certain way. No, 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 no. No, I'm not. I'm not. Here's the thing. I'm not talking about Microsoft. I'm talking about EA and Bethesda. Yeah, they both are no. But Microsoft, on the other hand, nah, I'm not gonna go in and try it on their ass. It's just that the main reason why I'm mad at EA though because of their practices. They always do. I mean, it gets to a point. I almost like feel like they kind of like Activision version 2 in a certain sense. So that's one thing because all the microtransactions and stuff are for certain content that should have been in the game in the first damn place.
I think it's
I,
less. I think it's less EA. I think it's more Respawn that's giving them a better name because I think
Yeah.
with
Oh, I
with
found it.
the success of
I found it.
what's that game?
The,
Apex Legends. The
mhm.
success of Apex Legends, I think they're kind of establishing EA as a better like business model. But there's still,
I
the
mean,
games that they put out are not. They haven't been historically great in recent years. So, oh, it's hell good. Yeah, it's a Souls light. You know. Yeah. I would like to see them do a follow up to it with a little bit more in depth like gear system. Because I think it was their take on like making a Souls like game, making a good Star Wars game. They
Mhm.
concentrated on the story, which was good. It was solid. Like I cared about what was going on, but I think the general mechanics of the game were pretty bare bones at the time, and I think they could iterate on that for another one and make it a little bit more in depth and go into that lore a little bit more. It was a solid game. I liked it. Yeah. Oh, I think it's
I like it.
amazing.
Oh, it's
It's
amazing.
amazing service. I have
It's
one
fucking
issue
wonderful.
in regards to EA, and they probably won't never change this either, which is why I always put them. They will stay at the bottom as far as I'm concerned. Is the fact that they will not put their sports games on PC.
Ooh.
It's like, do you guys not want to make money?
They don't want to deal
Imagine, seriously, imagine UFC on PC.
Oof.
That's all I
yeah.
hear is hack, 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 hack. That's all I hear.
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah.
I know. Yeah,
You
I
need a
know
reason
Dre-
to buy a console, though. That's what the sports games are keeping that alive, I think, in a large part. So
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah,
Honestly,
but
because
mhm.
most stuff, let's be honest, if it's on console, 9 times out of 10, it's eventually hitting PC now.
well, they know the
Yeah.
money's there. They're doing like timed exclusives, which is smart. You know, give people a reason to have the console. You know, like I think there should
Yeah.
I think there should be more console exclusives, specifically. You know, like the idea that, I mean, I know they want to make money and it's smart. You know, from a business point of view, but one of the reasons of buying a console, you know, back in the day was to get those exclusive games, because you couldn't get Final Fantasy games on anything but a PlayStation.
PlayStation.
You know what I
Very much
mean?
so.
Like now it doesn't. There's no brand brand loyalty anymore, because it's like, oh well, it'll be on Xbox too, or oh, it'll be on PC. It'll run better on my PC. You know, there's not really a big reason to.
Yeah, but you got to understand at the same time, though, I agree with you full blown. My thing is just like, okay, say like right now, I'll just throw a game out there for shit. Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Mhm.
How many people are really gonna sit there as a true Final Fantasy fan and wait for it to come out on PC?
I'm not. That's one of the reasons I bought the PS4.
You see what I mean?
You know,
so you see where I'm going with it.
You know,
Like, yeah,
speaking
you do
of
have
which-
them people who won't care, but
Speaking of which, though, that's kind of reminds me of Kingdom Hearts series. You know, I'm a Kingdom Hearts bitch. Okay, I fucks with that series. I will drop money like it's nothing on Kingdom Hearts. They put that game on Epic Game Store. Okay, now put it like this though. That game series is I think it's on Epic. It's like $200 for like the entire like 6 games or something like that. Now, as much as I am a fan of the series, I'm not gonna Square Enix. I'm not gonna pay $200 for that entire series, which you can get it on the PlayStation for $30. You know.
can I be honest in regards to the Kingdom Hearts series?
Go ahead. Don't hurt me though. Don't hurt me.
It got dragged out.
You know, I can agree with you. I can agree with you on that. But you know, back then I want to say that Bethesda had what do you call? Not Bethesda. I'm sorry. Square Enix had development issues with like I think like 2 or 3 of their games. So first it was versus Final Fantasy, then then I think that turned into Final Fantasy 15. They revealed Kingdom Hearts like 4 or 5 years beforehand, which you know you should. I don't like it when developers throw out games like 4 or 5 years beforehand, because then you know it just drags down the hype, I guess you could say. But it just took too long though for Kingdom Hearts 2 to come out, and then after that, it was in my opinion as a fan, it was MediaCore because Disney had more of a hand in this game than Square Enix did, especially since a lot of the content that we love and know was taken out, I guess you could say, because of Disney wanted to promote their Frozen, promote their Tangled, and all that kind of stuff. You know, that's what it felt like. It felt like a promotion for Tangled and Frozen.
Right.
I can see that.
But that's just the thing with Kingdom Hearts. But I do hope to see the series come. Like, I really hope to see it come to Game Pass, because the way how I use Game Pass and stuff, I use it as especially when every so often, y'all don't know. I think, but Microsoft, they give you a $1 for a full month or something like that every so often. So
Yeah.
I use that as a demo. So like I'm like, okay, I can play all these games I want. Try them out. If I feel like buying it, I'm gonna go onto Steam or GOG or whatever I feel like buying it on, and buy it on that platform where I can keep it forever. That's at least that's what I do. I don't know about you guys. That's something that
my thing is with Game Pass, I love it for the simple fact that I played Forza Horizon 4 because I love my racing games, and I would like to go ahead and say right now is that first of all, if you ever think about trying to look at all the cars that I have, you'll notice that I am a full damn weeaboo pretty much. So that's why
That's how most of my cars is in that game, dude. For real. For real.
like a mofo.
Well, now, Aki,
I-
here's the thing: Forza Horizon 4 now it's on Steam, but you probably won't have access to all your cars.
And see, that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem because
Nah.
I'm gonna be honest. I race, but I don't race on there. But it's like at the same time, most of us who've been playing it forever, we always looking through the auction for new cars, new different setups. Like you got so many creators on there just coming up with different paint jobs for cars and everything else. Like you'll buy the car just for the paint job.
Yep.
Probably never drive the damn thing just to say I have it. Honestly.
Bruh, like seriously, and there is community behind it though.
Sounds like real life.
Mm-hmm.
Community behind it too.
Sounds like real life right there.
But
Yeah.
but yeah, on the Game Pass was a great idea.
I like it.
It's a great idea. The only thing I have against it is the pricing. Like it feels like if I want to go for a full 12 months of it, it's gonna cost me over $200. I'm like, bro, do you know how I will do much the money as far as game wise? I could buy at least for that much. I could at least buy like probably like 4 Nintendo Switch games.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. Like I use Game Pass as a demo, but if there's a game that I like, I look elsewhere before I buy it on Steam or GOG or something for a cheaper price. Like example, I'm just gonna give you an example. A game costs $20 on Steam, but Game Pass you get it for $1, right? Sure, you get that full month for $1. You play it or whatever, and it's like, well, I want to keep it now. You go look elsewhere. It's like $10 somewhere else. There you go. Bada bing, bada bing.
Right.
At least it's like so that's how I use it. Because I'm looking at the list right now. Like even like the EA game, the EA what's it called, Pass or whatever. I would never like pay for EA Pass, but like even though now it's with Game Pass though, I think they saw that too. They're like, you know what? We should just hop on this train that Microsoft is doing at the moment.
I mean,
What's
to be fair,
Go ahead.
to be fair, PlayStation now does have a better list of games than Xbox's.
Yeah.
Xbox got some decent, good list of games, but PlayStation now does have a better list on
You
there.
see, now I agree with you though, but it's a streaming service, so I can't see it as a streaming service. Like, so streaming to me, at least right now, game streaming, it's very, very niche. Like, let's say I don't want to be on my computer, but I can play the game on my phone. That's cool. That's cool. But I want to sit there and actually play on my hard. I want Sony to actually put these games. I mean, they're starting to do it. So with Horizon, was it Zero Dawn and Forbidden West, and also Days Gone, I think is coming to PC as well. They're starting to put some of the games on PC, but at the end of the day, though, I think these exclusives are going to only hold Sony so far, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's the big thing with Microsoft and Bethesda and even EA being with them is like Microsoft wants butts in the seats. They want your subscription. That's where they're making their money.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mhm.
I mean, when you think about how it's millions and millions of dollars a month that they're making just to have access to these things, half the people aren't even using it the way it's intended. And like I said, the more quality games they have in the library, the more people want to be a part of Microsoft. If I have access to hundreds of games that I don't need to actually buy, but I can try whenever I want, it's incentive for me to play and have that service over Sony's, because in my opinion, Sony's library of games is trash. I don't really care about any of those. There's a few exclusives I want to play for PlayStation, but it's not really worth the money, in my opinion. I tried PlayStation Now, and there is a couple of good games on there. But yes, it's streaming, so there's a bit of input lag in it. So like where I'm used to like crisp response to my controls, there's like a little teeny tiny delay that like it really gets to me.
I ain't even gonna lie, y'all.
Mhm.
It's the only reason why I got PlayStation Now, because I have this. I bought this just to play PlayStation Now games.
I mean, hey, bro, let me tell you something. The DualShock 4 controller is for me at least, is the best controller for PC. At least in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
you can,
really?
you can use it on Steam or whatever game that has it like capable to use controllers or whatever. But I like it because the D-pad. The D-pad to me is like the best D-pad, I guess you could say. I mean, I heard the Xbox One controller is it's like kind of like on par, but I like Sony's D-pad's a little bit better. But yeah, like
Don't worry though, they don't know what they're talking about right now.
Well, you know what I say, like as a PC, primarily a PC Switch gamer and somewhat PS4, like I'm okay with using controllers on PC every so often. It just depends on the game. Like if it's an RPG game, yeah, I'm gonna use my controller. If it's a shooting game, I'm gonna use my now it depends on the shooting game. Like if it's a Call of Duty, I'll use a controller because I think Call of Duty has like controller lobbies or whatever, right? Then if it's something like Counter-Strike, no, I'm gonna use my keyboard and mouse, something like that, But yeah, so a controller has its uses, but that's just me though, Mr. Aki over here trying to attack the PlayStation controller.
Hey, I'm sorry, but that shit be small as shit. In my hands though.
It is the same with me. It's too small for my hand.
I mean,
use it.
yeah, I can. Yeah, it's small on mine. I mean, as you can see here, I have plenty long fingers. So
Perfect size for my hands.
Man, you talking about small? These are
Shit,
these are
PS5 controllers.
And see, that's my issue right there. What you just showed, yeah,
These are
that's
what
an
you call
issue. That's
small.
gonna be
right
an
here?
issue for me.
Look at that. These are both fit
Yeah.
in my hand like that. So you want to play these hoes?
Yeah.
I got big fingers. Look at that. Look at my thumb right there. It covers up the entire freaking D-pad, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
but that's why though I bought this controller. But this is the price of another game. This is $70 by itself.
Shit.
I actually need to get a Wii emulator controller. I want to play Dolphin games. I mean, I could set it up for either one of these controllers I got now, but it's a pain in the ass. I'd rather just go buy a USB Wii controller and do it that way. Because believe it or not, we actually have
Honestly,
some damn good games.
At this point, why don't you just buy a Wii and mod it? I mean, I say you gotta mod it, but you can mod it.
No, and you're not wrong.
Because we got a Wii one right here.
Here's the thing though. I know if I buy a whole console, guess what it's gonna do? Collect dust.
I mean, hey,
It's just gonna be
as
there.
as a fellow console collector, okay, it's worth to say, hey, I haven't played this game. I can go back and just play it. Especially if you get here it is right here. I'm on eBay right now. You can get a Wii, first generation Wii for $100. The first generation had the GameCube ports on top of that. So get the GameCube games, get the Wii games, and then bada boom, bada bing. I know for a fact I haven't played all them GameCube games out there. I know for a fact.
You mean the ones that are actually good? Let's keep that in mind now.
You're right. You're right. Because this Wii right here that I have right here, it got me. I played through Wind Waker, and also Ocarina of Time for the first time last year. So I had a blast going back and playing those games. I really did. Now I'm just waiting for Nintendo to throw out the ports again, so I can get them.
I ain't even gonna lie. Now you done brought it down since we talking about that. Hell, I need to mess around and just get a Dreamcast just cause.
Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let me do the meme. Hold on, let me do the meme. Wait a minute. Don't hit Missy with that stuff. Missy, you talking about the Dreamcast, bro. Now that was a classic, homie. That was a classic.
House of the Dead for
A classic piece of garbage.
What? Oh my god.
He's trolling right now. He's trolling right now, man. The Dreamcast was ahead of its time. You could play games on the memory card. The controller fits real well. Hell, you had Shenmue, you had Sonic, you had Crazy Taxi, you had the Sega Bat. You had some games on there. Then you had internet connectivity.
Don't forget Capcom versus SNK too.
Yes, or Power Stone. Or Power Stone. And matter of fact, they need to revive Power Stone. Matter of fact, in this day and age, we need another.
They need to
game.
revive Dark Cloud.
Yeah. And then now I know that here's another game that they need to come back with. Now I know y'all haven't heard of this one because the company went defunct, but it was called Toy Commander. Y'all probably haven't played that way. Think of it like a battle arena where you're playing as toys. Think of it like Toy Story, actually. Think of it like Toy Story, where the kid gets new toys for Christmas, so it's basically the old toys versus the new toys, in a sense. That's a classic game. Look it up. So that, like,
Didn't they make a movie like that too?
No, that was Toy. You're thinking of Toy Soldier. This one's just called Toy Commander.
Oh,
It's a classic Dreamcast game. And then I had some weird. When I was a kid, I had some weird Dreamcast game that was like a skate. It was like a what are those things called? Scooters, right? It was like, think of it like Tony Hawk, but with scooters.
what the hell?
I don't know what it was called though. But
You're not making a good case for the Dreamcast. I'm not gonna lie.
Quit hating. Bongo, who's he right about, Bongo? Hold on, wait a minute now. Who's he right about? I see you. But shoot, that's the Dreamcast though, baby. You know, since we're already talking about Dreamcast, let's dive into these console generations. Hold on, let's dive on it.
Uh-oh.
What do y'all
Oh,
feel
boy.
like was the best console? You know, if we're gonna go with Shag right here. We're gonna go with you first, mister. Let's go with you. What was your favorite console generation?
It's a pretty close tie, I think, because the very first one that my mom bought me was the what the hell, I can't even think of the name of it. The Donkey Kong Country Super Nintendo bundle. That was my very first one, and I probably have the fondest memories from that one. And I mean, you'd argue that the games on that were really solid. But I think, I don't know. I mean, I don't think there's much of an argument to be made. I think the Xbox 360 was probably the best console. I mean, the PlayStation 3 that was like alongside of it was wait, was that right? Or was PlayStation 3 with the Xbox One?
It was the same generation. I think that's what, generation 7? Was that 7 or 8? Or is it 8?
Xbox 360 is the best console.
Yeah, it was
that
generation
ever
7. It was
created.
generation 7.
So
So,
some people gonna be mad at you for saying that, but hey,
No, fine. That's fine. That's fine, but they're wrong. That's wrong. You're wrong if you say anything other than the Xbox 360.
all right, y'all. So-
Because it was
Okay,
the best,
first of
the
all,
best user interface,
Mm-hmm.
the best user interface of any of the, well, definitely the recent consoles, and the most like fluid gameplay. Some of the best games ever came off the Xbox 360.
Don't ever bring up Castlevania.
Like, it's just, I think as an all-around system, the 360 I think takes it hands down.
Okay, we're gonna gonna
Fine.
cancel you right there because your opinion is whack.
That's
We don't
fine. That's
agree
fine.
as much.
That's fine. Happy.
You know, the funny thing is, since we're talking about the Xbox 360,
This man's gonna pull out his 360. Get out of here.
I still have
Yes,
mine.
Nice. That man's digging. Do 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 do.
Honorable mention is the GameCube, by the way.
That's the Star Wars 360, right?
Oh damn.
nope.
Aki, is that the Star Wars or Halo 360? Yeah,
That's
Halo.
a, oh wow,
Halo 4.
that's an Xbox. Yeah,
Yep. So
that's what I thought.
Sir, I got the original Xbox sitting right here, but it's fucked up. I mean, it still works though. It still works, but it's fucked up.
Yeah, mine still works too. I got
No, like those
over 40 games.
No, let me tell you, them older consoles, they were built to tank, yo. Like my original Xbox, it fell off a desk about this high. So the ground's this high about 2-3 times. The only thing that broke was just the top part to it. I had repaired that or whatnot, but that thing still functions really well, surprisingly. So yeah, them old consoles built like tanks, in my opinion. But let's see here. Now, speaking of which, when I was growing up, I had when I was a kid, I think we had the SNES, but I don't remember too much about owning one. Then we had I know for a fact we owned a Sega Genesis, Sega Dreamcast, Sega Saturn, because we were a Sega family. You're on.
Hell, don't get me started about the
See,
whole
I had
Nintendo and Sega rivalry.
See, we did have a PlayStation. Like, for what it's worth, back then growing up, I do want to say that, at least in my personal opinion, the PS1 and the PS1 and Sega Genesis were my two favorite consoles back then. They both had, even though they both had their differences, especially since PS1 had 3D, I believe, back then. I think was one of the first consoles to pull off 3D. Playing that Aladdin game back on the Sega Genesis back in the day was godlike, y'all.
I heard
except that part we have to make that leap that everybody hates. Is that one leap in the Cave of Wonders? Y'all probably don't remember that. I don't know, but I never made that leap.
Look. Let me put it this way right now. Platformers has never been my thing, and you know that for a fact. Disbearity, seeing my ass, always fall every time. I'm just glad I didn't put
I'm about to bring up. I'm about to bring up one that even the King and Shags probably should know about. TurboGrafx 16.
Oh my god. I never seen one yet, but I seen it. Well, I seen it in pictures.
Right.
Oh my god.
Yeah. The game called Bunkers. You used to run around literally headbutting the shit out of people. I love that. I love that game, bro. But that wasn't my favorite. If I had to just legitly just over the top pick a favorite, I'm gonna have to go back to original Nintendo just because of that track and field and that track and field pad.
But also, though, Nintendo did save the gaming industry. It really did. Well, yeah. Nintendo, yeah.
But that pad alone, and the gun, and the glove, let's be honest here, it was ahead of its time, y'all.
Cultural icons.
Definitely was ahead of its time.
Oh yeah.
What about the Super Scope, though?
Oh yeah, the Super Scope. I forgot about the Super Scope. Oh, I apologize.
What's the Super Scope? Hold on.
Google it. Google it, young gun. Google it.
See, I was born in the 90s, bro. I was a 92
Google it,
baby.
young gun.
I was a 92 baby. Let's see, Super Scope. Now, this was a gun, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
Actually, no.
Oh my god.
Okay, I remember this. I like never used it, but I remember this actually. Cause I think I saw this at a pawn shop, like when I was a kid, or whatnot.
I don't know why anyone would ever get rid of that, but
yeah, that. Ooh, boy.
Didn't games like Duck Hunt or something like that use that, if I recall?
Well, they had their own light gun. It was like same technology though.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then you have like, oh my god, I remember when
yes,
further a couple of years down, they had I think they brought out a scope just for that game Silent Scope, I think it was called.
Yeah.
I think yeah, because they made a gun just for that game. I remember that now. Yep. Boy, they had a lot of stuff out back in the day before they time.
Yep.
But that glove was the shit. You can't tell me you can't tell me otherwise, boy.
It was one movie. Oh god, I think it was. I'm probably gonna get the movie wrong, but there was a movie. I think it was called Remote. This kid's like locked in this house, and there's like robbers in it, and he's got all these like remote control things. And I swear this movie he uses his like Nintendo glove to like pilot some of them. And I remember seeing it and being like, I want one of those. Like for that, like I can control robots and shit. This is great. I think it was that. I think it was that movie. There's some movie like one of those like kid hero movies in the 90s that they used the Nintendo game glove. Oh dude, so cool.
I mean, in reality here, Nintendo was way ahead of the time with the whole what's it called, the Virtual Boy or the VR headset thing or whatever.
Yeah,
they were really ahead of their time, but as you know, that was just too early. I mean, it's same with the Sega Dreamcast though. But what's crazy? What's really crazy to me is that all these older consoles, even today, if you took care of them, they still function beautifully. But versus these modern consoles now, companies using cheaper parts and stuff like that, they don't last probably 2-3 years in their lifespan. We had with the 360, you had with the Red Ring of Death. With the PS3, you had the Yellow Light of Death. You guys never owned a PS3 because I owned plenty and I had that issue. The PS4 has its own issues with like the disc drive. Like my PS4 ejects a disc every so often, or your PS4 starts to sound like a jet. And that's crazy to me that these consoles, these modern consoles have those issues. But though, like before once the GameCube, the original Xbox and stuff, and the what do you call the PS2, they didn't really have issues at all. I mean, I guess you could say because they were less powerful. I guess. I mean, I don't know if your thoughts on that. I guess because they were less powerful, but like even then,
that's part of it. But I'll tell you what it is. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing with your phones and your tablets. It's called planned obsolescence. It's basically technology, and because it's possible for companies to put themselves out of business by making a product that's too good. There was actually a safe company out of I want to say it was somewhere in Ohio, and the company put itself out of business because their safes were so secure and they lasted forever. Like you just bought one and you didn't need any more. That was it.
I believe
you know what I mean. And so with these consoles, like those things withstand the test of time because you're making a durable, solid product. Yeah, part of it is like the technology is less complex back then, but now, like, how are you going to make maximize profits beyond a good game? You need to update your system.
Yeah.
You know, the Xbox 360 is only, or the Xbox One's only take you so far. Now you need the Xbox One S.
Oh yeah.
Now you need the Xbox Series X. You know, these iterations, you know, the technology, you know, the jump from the Series X from the One X is dramatic,
God, that's
right?
a terrible naming scheme. I'm sorry.
Oh, totally. But it's like the biggest technology. It's like one of the biggest technology jumps in 2 decades. You know what I mean? So, like, but they need another way to make money. Same with your phones. The firmware and the operating system is updated so much that eventually it's too much for the old technology to handle. Forces you to pay another $1,000 for technology.
Guaranteed. I definitely believe you on that because because like especially like on a phone, like example here, like my cell phone, right? It's a 2017 Sony Xperia, correct? That's what I need to do, right? So the phone, if it's fresh install, works fine. You have your full 16. You have like your 10 gigs left, yada yada, right? But the more updates starts to slow it down to the point where like it takes your phone like lags when you're trying to, like, especially mine. Like mine will sometimes lag when I'm like trying to click somewhere. I guess you could say, or like multitask really fast. Because when I go to bed at night, I turn off my computer, I go on my phone, I go on Reddit, search Reddit for like about a good 20 minutes and stuff. And it's just it makes it a rough experience doing that. And I can definitely see where you're coming from too with that. And then phones always says it's out of space. I'm like, no, it can't be that. I didn't install anything. It's like, well, no, you got updates. I'm like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Like
I'm interested to hear what Twilight thinks for the best console generation.
Yeah, Twilight.
I think either GameCube or the PS2. Or at least PS2 games. Maybe the PS3 because they could run or play the PS2 games, but I think the GameCube and the PlayStation 2 had the best collection of games. I guess it's more of the game selection than the actual like hardware and console for me because I'm not as into the tech stuff. But like there were so many good classic games, and maybe it's just the nostalgia, but that like they never got sequels, they never got like a spin-off. Like they were just so good standalone games.
Well, that's the thing with the PS2. The PS2 was so successful because they had like a lot of. Because you guys know in the gaming industry, they're a tier. You had AA, you have AAA, and you have first party, right? There were so many AA games on the PS2, so many. But like a lot of those AA's were really good at the time. But like she was saying, it's just, I mean, now you don't see that anymore. I mean, well, we have indie games, but you don't really consider. Would you consider indie games AA games though? At this point in time.
Depends on. I think there's some that like like Darkest Dungeon. I would consider that a AA. Like that company, Red Hook. I think there's some like indie developers that you could consider AA for sure. Like what's it called? No Man's Sky. Like totally AA.
God, I like how the series is so. I like how that game started so bad, but now it's the perfect game. I mean, I never bought it at launch, but as owning it now, it's such a good game now.
Oh, it's amazing.
And they kept it free. Every update free.
Smart. Well, like they didn't have a choice because they messed up so bad that
At launch.
like it's. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they
Oh
kind of
yeah,
like.
people got hyped up and then they were so
Well,
disappointed.
it wasn't that it was the people though. It was that Sean Murray was saying so much stuff, like saying we're gonna have this game, we're gonna have huge amounts of multiplayer, everything's gonna be perfect, kumbaya, so on and so forth. And then once they got it, it was just like, is this it?
Right.
what are we
Real,
doing?
real quick. There's right now for the next 12 hours on GOG. There's an amazing PS2 game that is I think I played it on PS2. It was probably on Xbox as well. 13 is free on GOG right now.
Oh shit! I forgot about that shit. I was gonna go.
Yeah,
ahead and get
it was like that comic book like first person shooter. Really fun game. I remember playing it I remember playing it in college in my dorm when it came out. Really cool game. And it's free. Like why wouldn't you get a free game?
Wait, 13? You said 13, right?
13.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's called 13.
Yeah, the game was actually recently remade, I believe, as well. But the remaster, people didn't like it or something like that because of some changes.
Oh, really?
So
Yeah, that game was amazing.
So Derper in chat believes that the 360 was his favorite console generation.
That's right.
Yeah, I would have to say.
Y'all can keep your red rings.
I would have to say it's tough because I'm gonna be straight honest with you. Like, as much as I do like Xbox 360 and such, but PS2 is kind of my favorite. That generation is kind of maybe my favorite. Because one, it really jump started a whole lot of certain game franchises at the time, like Tomb Raider, for example. When I played Tomb Raider Anniversary, which is the remake of Tomb Raider 1. And let me also going to tell you right now, I still hate Democracy's goddamn room in Greece. That damn level, man, when you have swords falling down on your ass. No, fuck that.
Now, Twilight, question for you though. What was your favorite PS2 game back then?
That's really hard to say. There are so many good ones. I really liked some of the weirder ones, like the Herbs, Sims in the City, or Sims Busting Out.
Hey, speaking of that, by the way, that's actually on my 30 games list, and I think that's the next game I'm going to be playing on my list.
Oh, nice.
Herbs in the City, yes.
They need to remake that.
I beat that game once, and I loved it, but it took so many hours. So...
NFL Street.
And there's a really good game called A Dog's Life. That was a really good game.
A Dog's Life.
Yeah. I don't remember who it's by. Let me look it up.
Yeah, NFL Street.
I mean,
that's basically any street game was amazing. Honestly, NFL, fucking NBA. I think they had FIFA. I think they had soccer one as well.
No, that's debatable. That's debatable.
You can't tell me that NFL Street wasn't.
No. NFL Street was fine, but NBA Street after that second one, that third one, I no.
I just think that your friend schooled you in that game.
The third one wasn't even all that. Honestly, the first two were fine. That third one was just no.
All right, now.
Dog's Life was made by Frontier.
Now, what about this here? NBA Ballers.
Ooh.
No.
Now that was back in the days.
Last time I played anything that or because I'm gonna tell you something, like this kind of dives into my personal history. I used to go to like a psychiatrist stuff, but they used to have this program where they would feed us kids. This was back then when I was like middle school days, and the thing is, they used to have PlayStation and shit. We used to have and some games in there. So like, oh my god, it was so amazing. But they had like the PS1, like the small, slim versions. Them shit's actually fucking lit. But I look at the fact that as for a sports game, yeah, NBA Street Volume 2 was actually dope as hell, to be honest with you. But I think if you want to talk about wrestling though, Raw versus SmackDown 2007 was one of the best ones.
I think I owned that on, but I had it on the original Xbox actually. Yeah, I think I
Mhm.
did own that.
So- So why don't we just ask the question that we're all dying to answer: is what is the best sports game on I would say just consoles in general.
None of them.
Oh, no, that
Does it have to be real sports?
Blitz. No, not Blitz. Hold on. What was that fucking? Oh, was it Blitz?
No,
NFL,
Blitz.
that was 64.
Blitz.
No,
wasn't it?
not Blitz the League.
No,
Not
Blitz
the
was 64.
not Blitz the
NFL
League, but
Blitz 64. Yeah,
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 was
the
that it?
64 version.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
that was
They
great.
had
but that's
Blitz.
one of
Because you go, I'm on fire. Let's go.
Bruh, man.
my vote is Fight Night.
Uh-oh.
Now-
Hands down.
Yeah.
Now here's
Anyone want to catch hands?
now
just let me know.
here's a question though. Since you said sports game, would you consider Def Jam a fighting game sports game? You know, he did say Fight Night.
No.
Think about it now.
Bruh, everyone in the hood will go ham on that damn game. I played that shit. You know, the first time I played that Gathering game was a couple months ago at a Halloween party last year.
And this what game on Def Jam? Or
Yeah,
Blitz?
that's Jam Fight for New York.
Yeah, that game's a classic, brother.
I never
It is
played
fun.
that game ever. No.
Fight Night is one of those games they should have never stopped making, but I understand why they did.
Now, why do you think they did?
Honestly. Boxing ain't as popular as it used to be back then.
Yeah, no one cares about boxing.
Actually, when I saw
anymore.
that on the 360, I think, because they came out with one on the 360, correct?
Yeah, they came out with a bunch.
They came out at least
Yeah.
6 or 7 of them.
It was, I think the first 3 were on the Xbox 360, and I think Fight Night Champion was one,
Yeah,
maybe.
I'm looking- I'm
The
looking at it
last
here.
one.
I'm looking at it here. Fight Night.
But you
got to
remember too, Shags.
Yeah.
What's that?
You got to remember too, Shags. Before it was actually called Fight Night, it was called Knockout Kings.
Oh,
That's
was
right.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the original name.
Yeah, that's also,
Okay.
yeah, it's from previous series Knockout Kings. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that game was just awesome. Like the controls were fluid, like like parrying, blocking, like the whole thing. Like I remember I used to freaking it's just in college. Like it was the days you'd bring like your Xboxes into people's rooms. Man, I would hustle people in that game. Like, yeah, let's play Fight Night. I'm like, yeah, I'll play. Just
Mhm.
fucking whoop up on them. every shot, I'm like, whack, boom, haymaker. See ya.
Bro, I be hating that shit. Okay, I be hating that shit. But actually, but yeah, for me, like I said about the PS2 thing, major reason why it introduced me to Tomb Raider and it did introduce me to Final Fantasy, and also introduced me to one of the best fighting game franchises, and I don't give a fuck what anyone gonna say. That is the King of Fighters. I don't care. Pretty much, the King of Fighters, which.
Sorry, what? He said King of Fighters.
All right, motherfucker.
Hey, to be fair, King of Fighters, you do actually have to know what the hell you doing.
I'm sorry,
Dude,
brother.
bruh.
It has to go to Tekken. Tekken defeats it every time.
Oh
sorry.
my god.
Yeah, but see, Tekken is easy to learn. King of Fighters is not easy to learn.
bruh. All right. Don't be surprised. I understand why Disbearity don't like
Aki,
King of Fighters.
I whooped your ass,
no,
though.
no.
Don't you bring it up? I whooped your ass several times in your own game, Aki. We got Derper. No, it was a Zalgo and somebody else to witness that. Several times, Aki. I'll whoop your ass again.
That's in
Yet
14
again.
though. That was in 14 though. That was in 14.
I'll get you in
But-
13. Oh, no, I'll admit you got me once in 13. Got me once. But I'll get you. Though.
You don't want to look. You don't want to see those problems in '98. So don't trust me. You don't want to see those problems. And two, and also, pretty much like the King of Fighters is pretty much out there. Like you got to think about it. Most people who learned about King of Fighters from Capcom versus SNK too. FYI.
That is true.
Yeah, so that's one thing why I look at that way. Like, damn, what is this character? And mostly, on the SNK side, I came from different fighting games like Fatal Fury, Samurai Showdown, Art of Fighting, King of Fighters itself, and other there are even fighting games that SNK had made that is so obscure. like Brookie One, for example, and Rick One, for example. And like I'm looking at these shits like, what the fuck? And I looked and I played to myself like, why the hell did SNK drop the motherfucking ball on this one? Cause yo, this shit is actually fucking. Like I hate to say it though, like Capcom, I love them for the simple fact of Street Fighter, but they have franchises like the Darkstalker series that should get a proper return.
I mean, you can say that with a lot of like, put it like this.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion, there's a lot of game series that can use a proper return. But the thing is, though, what a company probably ask themselves this question: how can we profit off this game? But also, how can we bring it into modern standards? But most likely, the problem is still back on the profit side. So let's say, how can we put microtransactions? Let's say Darkstalkers. It's a fighting game. You can easily bring it back and put some microtransactions in it, though. People are begging for the Darkstalker series, but Capcom, they're not going to do it because they're like, well, we don't want this Darkstalker series to overshine our Street Fighter series, but then we don't want this series to, back and forth.
Man, fuck Capcom on that
And
shit.
see, here's the thing that's killing me in regards to gaming companies. If they actually listened to us, the fans, their communities that we're a part of, they would know exactly what would make them money.
True.
I mean, let's be honest here. I think we all can agree here as far as Capcom is concerned. They want to make a couple of real quick $1 million, make another damn Mega Man.
At least a decent one at that.
Like,
hell.
people gonna buy it just because it's Mega Man. Might talk shit if it's bad or not, but people gonna buy it because it's Mega Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. There is like a big community around Mega Man, like a motherfucker. I discovered a YouTube channel. I can forget the name of it, but man, it has so many goddamn playing through so many hacks like crazy, like speedrunner do that shit. I'm like, holy fucking hell, what the hell is going on here? Like it's crazy. But I just feel like shoot, hell, everyone's asking for Capcom versus SNK 3 right now, bruh. But I think we just need to go ahead and move on to another topic. Like streaming 1-on-1, it would be one.
Actually,
one more quick thing.
Before we head on to that one, this one's gonna be super short. Let's go to the Cardi B dance. That's a short one. Aki, you ain't gotta see it, bro. Cause let me tell you something. Have you ever got two like scissors? Just said sloop. Cause that's pretty much what it was, bro.
I don't know what you're talking about. Could you demonstrate?
But that's what's been going on, Aki. You can do a quick Google search or YouTube search and see. Now, let me tell you though, that's because powerful women right there, showing that what you can do on stage. There you go.
Okay, can we
Disbearity, stop.
Okay.
Stop it. Stop it.
I mean, hey, if they can do that, I'm gonna empower myself to go on stage and show my stomach and do other
Bro,
things.
I'd rather watch women on OnlyFans do it and pay for it. Like, and on a personal level, I already have a bias against both of them. I just don't like them. Like I said, I don't mind what they did, but just not them. Like I said, I'd rather pay 2 women, female only fans, content creators to do it, and I would gladly watch it. I'm not watching them.
Yeah, and here's the thing though, like on that, like okay, cool, whatever. But even though, and this is gonna be the music side of me speaking out that and shit, like that whole sample is based on some sample based on like house music in Baltimore, and also like Cardi B. I don't respect her ass either because it feels like she don't have her own style. She don't have her own style at all, pretty much it. Like you could tell. Like she's just like gets like taking stuff that's from different music community, such as here from here. Now, Megan Thee Stallion is kind of at the same, but at the same time, one thing I can give her credit for is the fact that she, showed the respect and showed pretty much it. Like with when she was working with Juicy J. Some of the songs she done with Juicy J, 3 6 Mafia, 3 6 Mafia and stuff and everything, blah blah blah. She was like in an interview showing, oh, this is Juicy J. She's a huge fan of him, rightfully so, because my city kind of birthed a lot of these goddamn styles out here, and so she was trying to show like, oh, I'm serious. And you know what? I salute Meg Thee Stallion for that. But that dance, hell no. It looked like goddamn two old people was trying to set themselves on fire, pretty much. It. I'm just being honest. When you at the goddamn campfire and shit. But yeah, my thing is that dance is like, no. That was not it. Whatever it is, that was not it.
See, I don't like because my girl Doja Cat wasn't there.
But Doja Cat pretty much got her behind council like a motherfucker over a goddamn Zoom call. So
I mean, honestly, at this point, you can't really I don't take cancellation seriously. See, before I even go on to that, I have to see the receipts first. I don't jump on the train.
Yeah.
But I gotta see the receipts. I gotta see who done it. What's this? What's that? I can't jump on trains anymore.
What exactly happened this time?
It was an old issue. That's an old issue, but basically. Yeah, that's an old issue. But moving, okay. Anyone else?
Yeah.
What about Twilight? Because I mean, she's the female here.
I haven't seen the dance.
Here, Twilight.
I don't really
You
care
know
about
what?
Cardi B, to be honest. I will say though, I like Megan Thee Stallion. She's cool because she's actually intimidating. Cardi B is just annoying from my
Damn. Yeah, I think like kind of what you said, Disbearity. Like I don't find stuff like that like, well, I mean, people could do what they want, but but in the same way, like I can be critical of that. You know what I mean? Like it's like I don't find. I find it's not like I don't understand how people find that empowering. You know what I mean? Like I look at my wife, the mother of my children, and I think like that's empowerment. Like watching her raise 2 kids and be like, a wonderful mother, like that to me is like how you empower.
I think their way of empowerment is to show that you can, hey guys, you can do anything as long as you can do anything, like kind of not like just like the dance, but in general, like don't be afraid.
Sure.
Don't be afraid. I guess you could say.
Yeah, they're very confident in the way they do it, and then
You
also
talking about Cardi?
there are women able to do that in like on the public network, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, but I guess my
there...
criticism of it is that it's objectifying, right? Like, I see a lot that women don't want to be objectified, but then they do stuff like that, and I'm just like, well, I mean, I guess, like, cool. Like I said, again, do what you want. They can make money how they want, but like me personally, I'm just like, oh
shit.
Huh. So, what were you gonna say, Riddler?
Here's my thing though. Here's my thing though. We got more than enough women already doing that. So where's their recognition for said empowerment? So now we're recognizing it as women empowerment because those two are doing it? Of all people, those two? I'm pretty sure all of us in here can find fully capable women able to do that same exact thing. I mean, if I'm lying, shoot me.
That's the hard part, though. Finding the women that can do that, though. That's the hard part.
Really? Really,
well,
Disbearity?
Yeah, it's because in 2021.
You try to scissor like that.
Shit.
I'll watch. I'll wait.
That's you got to subscribe $10.99 to the OnlyFans account. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't know. I haven't already done it.
Twilight's fully aware that my OnlyFans is free. First off,
I keep
second
forgetting.
off, oh no, I'm just not speaking to you. But no, but seriously, we all know is women fully capable to show empowerment. We all know plenty.
Right.
I'm not. Me and the mother of my child are not together, but I will tell anybody on the face of this planet. She's a hell of a mother. I'm not one of these dudes to sit there and say, "Oh, she ain't shit," blah blah blah. Nah. Just because me and her couldn't be together, don't mean she's not there for my daughter. I will scream that to hell, high and water.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I know plenty of women who do exotic, whatever, stuff. Have basic common sense. Don't talk about half of this shit that's going on. They handle their business. They don't get involved in all this I hate men stuff, blah, blah, blah. That's empowering. Like, I don't get how one dance just because it's mainstream, now it's empowering. When there's plenty of women that's been doing it for years with no problem. But now y'all want to give it recognition because it's them two.
Well, the question is, though, that the other women, did they do it first? Like what I'm saying is that, I think we had a kind of like a similar conversation like this, like kind of similar conversation where, these other women didn't have the confidence to do it first, but these two Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, they did, I guess, at the end of the day, So I guess it's one. Like I said, it goes back to saying that they did it because they had the confidence to do it. So hopefully, it shows these other girls that, hey, if we did this, y'all can do it too. Something of the sort.
Yeah, there's a whole directory on Pornhub dedicated to this. It's not even like. I guess I can't find the word specifically about this, but it just seemed like I don't know. It's just again, like, empowerment, I guess, it's subjective, but I think there's just a better way to show it, and I think my issue is I don't want anyone to be objectified and reduced down to like a body part or like whatever, but this doesn't necessarily help the situation because you're like, what are you playing to? Like, what strength are you playing to here is really what it comes down to it. And, call me whatever you want, but old fashioned or whatever, but
Yeah, it's just like my boy Crowe, who didn't have the empowerment to cut off his stream the other day. Ain't right, Crowe.
What?
I said just like my boy Crowe, who didn't have the empowerment to cut off his stream the other day.
I'm standing by. I'm standing by this. Those types of actions have been getting done for years. We all know that. Now people are caring because it's mainstream. Like, right. I don't agree with that.
It's kind of like, what's funny?
Right.
Someone made a comparison to, when they came with the song WAP, right? The WAP was already done years earlier. You hear listen to the old times WAP. There you go. Go on YouTube, type in. You can listen to the old school WAP. They weren't the first to do it.
Like Lucille something. Oh my God, Lord Jesus, no.
And how many sexual songs have been out for years? Now y'all want to care because Cardi B and everybody else made a song called WAP.
Bruh.
We can go find plenty of songs that are far better than WAP.
Oh yeah, I can find something about Gangsta Boo, which pretty much is.
But yeah, we can go ahead and jump off the conversation. We don't need to give Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion any more recognition.
Cardi B don't need no recognition because that face look like a goddamn whole dump tax. Now
you make fun of her face too. Damn.
I personally stand by. Yeah, I would rather just continue giving sex workers their respect over those two. I said what I said. We can move on now.
He said what he said. There you go. All right, so the next step here is streaming 101. Okay. So streaming 101 could basically be anything technically. Like, what are your thoughts on streaming on this beautiful platform that we call Twitch or any platform at that. You know, like
Can we just go around with this?
yeah, we can just go. Yeah, we can just go around with this. You know, and I'll go first. Okay, streaming, and this day and age. Totally honest with you, it's shit. And what I mean by this is that oversaturation, number one, is the primary cause. You are one person vying against over 10 million people on this platform. Okay, this is on any streaming website because only the 1% to maybe 2% of people will ever make it. Now, the other percentages are people that can make a decent living while also working their real life job, which totally fine. But at least in this day and age, is streaming as what it used to be. Because I've been streaming on Twitch since 2014, kind of like on and off, I guess you could say. And from when I started, things have changed tremendously. Like, you know, I want to say when coming up, you needed, you know, back in the day, you needed a decent computer, you needed decent equipment. You know, you have to put in a lot of work and a lot of effort in order to have, guess what, a better broadcast. You know, people, you know, one of the things that I don't like are the tips and tricks that people give to streaming. Like, one of the major ones I don't like is where they're like, you got to be unique. I hear you on the uniqueness part, okay? But you're vying against over 10 million people on a platform. How unique can you get? Like,
okay. Yep.
Answer that question for me, y'all. How unique can you get? What can make your channel unique to stand out between people? You know,
Because I don't mind showing my emotions while other people fake theirs.
exactly.
Controversy is unique. Very unique. Very fucking unique.
Oh, I mean, I wasn't gonna say all that because everybody knows I am, but yeah, since you said it,
Like, streaming right now, it's like you can't be that much unique anymore because the only way you can grow is by having controversy, drama, people feed off the negativity, and then eventually, you know, you got to join. Eventually, you'll be joining a side, and we all know what that side's going towards, you know. And you got to follow the whole Twitch narrative, or I guess is what you could say. And then you also have people that don't want to put up a effort when it comes to streaming. And what I mean by effort is they don't want to make their okay. So there's two types of streamers. Okay, there's literally only two types. You have the business part, the business people that want to make it into the business, that actually want to make something out of it, that actually want to go further in their content creation life. Okay, then you have the hobbyists. The hobbyists are the people that, you know, just want to, like, let's say, I'll make an example out of Twilight. I see Twilight as a hobbyist. You know, she just want to, guys, you know, I'm a streets of Disco Elysium. Come on in, y'all. I don't have a stream like in about a week or two, but we're gonna hop in and stream some Disco Elysium. There you go. You know, that's who I call you know, I want to say she's a hobbyist. But the thing is that there are people who are hobbyists. They make their hobby into a business when it doesn't have to be. Like, and what I mean by that is that when the hobbyists start seeing growth, you know, they're like, well, I'm gonna start making it into a business now. And then after that, later on in the stream, it's not, when they're in the streaming career, streaming is not going to get fun for them because they're going to burn out, and they're gonna be like, well, it's not fun anymore. And so that's what people forget as a hobbyist, is that they forget about the fun part to it. Now, for me, I take my streaming as a hobby and also as a business. Do I want to see myself go a little bit further? Yes, I do. You know, do I want to sell some merchandise? Yes, I do. I do want to do certain things, you know, but I don't take it or at least right now, this specific time, I don't take streaming as serious as I used to, because I'm more so on the YouTube side of things now, because I want to grow somewhere else. Because again, just being on Twitch itself, there's no type of growth at all, you know. And again, it's like I said, people don't want to put up the effort in order to be on multiple, you know, sites and stuff. Like when I go to a Twitch channel, my personal pet peeve is that I don't like people, you know, telling everybody to check out their YouTube, check out their Instagram, but guess what? Their last post on any of these other platforms was like years ago. That's like a pet peeve of mine. Like, you don't sit there and say, guys, check out my YouTube channel. I go to your YouTube channel and go check it out. Last video 5-6 months ago. I'm not gonna subscribe to you, like, you're not, you know, stuff like that. But you know, the main thing for me is, like, if people want to ever join it, get up in the streaming world, you know, you gotta have you gotta have your goals. You know, set your goals where you're gonna go as a streamer.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you need to do. You got to set your goals. You know, do you want to how do you want to grow your platform? You know, the one thing that makes it hard for me as a streamer is I always try to ask people, you know, give me some criticism. You know, give me something. Tell me what you like about me. Tell me what you don't like about me. You know, tell me what I can do better at. You know, so on and so forth. Like I need people, but the hard thing is just getting that feedback or that criticism, because that's the hardest thing. Because people there, you know, I'm like, be honest with me. Like, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. You know, be honest with me. Like, am I? You know, people tell me all the time, like, well, Disbearity, you know, you chat a lot. You chat to people. Like, I'm like, who? I remember when about the third year in streaming for me, somebody came to my stream, was like, yo, you talk too much. I was like, what? Like, what? What? I talk too much. Is that the point of streaming? It's to sit there and talk.
Be awkward if you didn't talk at all.
Yeah. And so I'm like, so I think I told the dude, you know, go ahead and go somewhere else or whatever. But what I find that's weird is that, okay, so I know that you guys know a lot of other black content creators, they say that they get a whole bunch of trolls, I guess, that say the N-word in their streams and stuff. What's crazy to me is that I haven't had a person come to my channel and say the N-word to me or call me whatever racial term in years. I've not had that.
I've never actually had it at all.
So I'm like, how are you guys getting all these trolls and people calling you guys these derogatory terms? But I'm not, though. The last time I had this was the last person I majorly banned on my stream, like majorly, was probably like last people were like 3 or 4 years ago. Other than that, you know, because I already have all the terms banned for the most part, and no one comes in my channel saying the N-word or breasting anything out, which is weird to me. But I guess to each to their own, or really, I think it's because they put themselves way out there, I guess, and they want to be, you know, part of, you know, of course, the streamer Twitter, which I advise you guys stay away from. Just saying. Stay.
No, it's too fun. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's what the excitement's there.
Stay as far away from that, unless you just want to sit there and troll. I mean,
Boy, streamer Twitter ain't shit.
Like,
He right.
I remember back in the day, they had that narrative. I want to call it a narrative, but I guess it might be like between 2017, 2018. Because, you know, let me tell you, back before I even started networking with people and stuff, I was a solo person, man. I grew my channel solo. I didn't network with people, because in reality here, back in the day, you didn't have to network with anybody actually back in the day. You didn't have.
It was definitely easier.
Aki, my boy, Aki, you up, Aki?
No, you know.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, like back in the day, you didn't need. What's up, Jay? You didn't need like to grow. Well, you didn't need to network to grow. You know, you were able to do a solo. You know, you're able to stream. You know, because, you know, that was back in the nowadays. You know, the whole thing that people spew is this. You know, guys, drop your links in the chat. Show each other support. You know, I'm gonna follow every single one of you 1,000 people. Number one. Number two, we got to network, become best as the friends. So you got to talk to each other, so on and so forth. Because if we don't talk to each other, we're not going to become friends. And then, you know, that whole thing is it was just cringe to me, because networking to me was put it like this. You know, when you first talk to each other, I call yourself, I'll say, we're acquaintances. We don't talk a lot, but, you know, we acquaint every so often, right? Then eventually, the more you talk, the more you start to actually make the connection of becoming friends. Most people here in the whole streaming verse, they don't. I think they don't distinguish between friendship and acquaintance. I don't know. It's weird to me. But what are y'all thoughts on that? Y'all can go ahead. What are y'all thoughts?
All right, my thoughts on streaming right now is. All right, okay, look, I am not gonna go.
What's up?
Get your ass. So, but yeah, my stream is this.
No,
first of all, at this point, I'm like, so if I make it, I make it. If I don't, I don't. Because if I could just flip to the screen of goddamn women that be in a goddamn hot tub with a bikini on and streaming to everyone, I'm looking and getting so many views. I'm looking like, what the actual fuck is going on here? So now it's turned into why adult webcam show or some shit, because that's what it seems like to me. And also it also taught me some lessons too. Like, you think that people say they are who they are and find out they ain't really shit. I had that happen one too many times.
We love you,
Stream- Yeah, I know. Too many times, people will they think that you think the people are true. They're not. It's like I kind of treat streaming as I treat the streets. Some people always claim they real. They not claiming they're not, but they actually will show them things otherwise. So I just keep my distance, do what I gotta do, talk to my own community, and just be moving it because, like, if anything about stream teams, I'll tell you right now, some of these are more pyramid schemes.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
say about any like aspiring streamer right now, don't join any stream teams yet. If it's your first year, don't join nothing yet. Get your foot, build your own community, pretty much it. And that's all you have to do is just make your content and go and keep it moving. Because
Oh yeah.
like streaming to me, it's like kind of like high school clicks all over again. And yes, I'm looking at a certain click we all know.
Grown up high school clicks. I like it.
I think there's 3 things you need to do. Like 3 things you need to do to like make it in streaming right now. You need to enjoy the games you're playing, like legitimately enjoy what you're doing, the game you're playing. You need to lost my train of thought. And you need to be you need to have a schedule. You need to have a regular schedule.
You know what? Hold on, Shag.
Oh, no.
Shag, I'm gonna actually redact you on that. Let me tell you why. I've been trying to have a schedule on stream for Twitch. It don't matter. Schedule does not matter at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, maybe that's a little bit more flimsy, but I think
Like-
you're only increasing your chances by showing up Monday, Wednesday, Friday at the same time. And it might just be. I mean, it could be the time slot you choose too. Because I mean, if you're streaming at the same time as a lot of big streamers, especially in like whatever game you're playing, like you might need to tweak it a little bit to stream after or right before, or kind of like overlap a little bit. I'm like, again, it kind of goes to like my third point too. Like the third point is luck. Like as much as I don't want to say it, like I mean, you said it yourself. There's 10 million people trying to stream on Twitch and and more on other platforms. I mean, when I started streaming, when you started streaming, like 2013, and then into 2014, and I ran into luck a few times. I got rated by a couple big streamers, and I was able to hold on to people, and I grew my community back then, and it felt good. But like and I say schedule, and it again, some people might find success outside of that, but I think it also would lead to like being able, like, you're having fun doing what you're doing, first of all, so people just want to show up for that personality. Like you're I'm chatty, I'm enjoying the game I'm playing. It doesn't really matter when they show up, but you're only increasing your chances that people will know that you're there. Because when you have a favorite TV show, if that TV show just came on whenever, you probably wouldn't watch it that much. You know what I mean? That's why I give that advice to people who will come into my stream, be like, hey, what do I do to start? I'm like, well, enjoy your game, stream regularly, as regular as you can, and get lucky.
Yeah, because I know for me, whenever I first started, I've put it like this. So on the platform of Twitch, at least right now, I have like over 2,500 followers. Okay. Now, throughout my years of streaming, I tried to stream throughout the morning, throughout the day, stuff like that, because my job, depending where I worked at the time, like I worked at Walmart or Target or whatever, it varied because my hours varied, right? And so then I looked for that, the thing why I say that schedule doesn't matter, at least in this point in age. Like back then, I will tell you this: between 2014, 15, 16, maybe in 2017, a schedule at the time was perfect because the gates were not open yet. Okay, what I mean by the gates is this: Ninja, at the time, as you guys all know, how he got big and stuff. He opened the floodgates, and when the floodgates came in, everybody at the time wanted to become a streamer at the time. Okay, so that made things like, because let me tell you, I was exponentially growing. Like when I looked at my charts about a couple weeks back, throughout those years, I was literally just kept going up and up and up, you know. But nowadays, it feels like with the gates open, everybody wanted to become a streamer. It feels like that, you know. Like I said, when it comes to me having a schedule, all I tell people is this: yo, I stream on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, something like that. But you can catch me anytime after 6 p.m. Because anytime earlier, anytime like any other time, like at that point in time, people just because I want to say people nowadays they watch so many people. They're people who they watch aren't optimized. Like example, I used to get caught up in watching. Damn, I'm like, holy shit, I support like at least 20, 30 streamers, man. I'm like. I've been watching, going back and forth, watching 20, tabbing people up, and I'm doing a lot. And then at one point, I'm just like, let me go back and let me really think on who I actually watch now. You know, I actually really think I sat there and had to really think about it. And so I'm like, okay, I followed over, I think almost 200 people. I'm like, okay, I'm about to drop a lot of people because I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, do I really watch these people? You know, so now you know I only watched about two handful of people. You know, about 10 to 15 people at most. Because like you know, other than you guys or my friends and stuff like that, that's you know, and I'm not including big streamers in that because I've been watching those guys for years. But when it comes to like smaller broadcasters and stuff, I only watch 10 to 15 people because at the end of the day, I'm focusing on them, but I'm also focusing on myself at that.
Do you, boo boo?
You know.
Yeah.
And so,
worry about yourself.
And so, because if you don't, you know, you're not at the end of the day, you're not gonna get anywhere. Now, it's like, now don't get me wrong, it's like, you know, as who I am, I appreciate the people who do come into my channel every day because those are the people who are, you know, keeping me going at the end of the day. Now, let's go back to the growth part. At the moment, as streaming goes, it's super hard to grow. And what I mean by super hard is that you'll be lucky enough if you gain like a follower here or there, especially on my part, because I've been around between 2,500 and between 2,500 and 2,600 followers for the past 2 years. Now, that's because, and I speak about this almost every other day. It's because like I stream, you know, let's say if I don't stream for a full week, I don't lose no followers or anything of the sort. But when I go live, every single stream, I lose. It's like I gain a follower, I lose 2, I gain a follower, I lose 3 maybe. And I'm just like, damn, what am I doing? You know,
people can have like low expectations for what they're doing. Like, I think you'll enjoy yourself more because that is the reality, right? Is that it's so oversaturated that you probably like, you know, when you do get an influx of followers, you'll probably have a bunch that leave, like, you know, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. But the point is to not, and what separates the most successful from the least successful in a lot of ways is that they're able to push through watching these numbers go up and down. It's so hard to see that because you are putting in the work and you're trying to do the best you can and you're trying to enjoy the games. But people set such high standards for Twitch and YouTube or all these other new platforms that are coming out. It's like, just enjoy yourself. You know, the more people see that you're enjoying what you're doing, the more natural it'll seem because and you also, and this is another thing that people need to know, is like you need to diversify like where your content is. You need to give people reasons to choose you over the next guy.
That
like you have content, and you have content on Twitch, you have content on YouTube.
Jay,
you need to, and you need to monetize in other places as well. Give people a way to support you. You know, there's that coffee website where people can buy you a cup of coffee, or you know, like donate you like $2 or whatever. Like do stuff like that. You know, have a Patreon if you're a creative person, or like you said, have an OnlyFans. You know, people should be, if you're serious about it, try and diversify your income locations and give people a reason to search you out, to look for new content. But the most important thing is like, to me, is you have to enjoy what you're doing. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, nobody's going to want to stick around. No one wants to watch someone rage for 3, 4, 5 hours at a game. You got to be able to enjoy yourself.
Now, War Dog, I do agree with you with rating other people. Now, here's the hard part about rating people, which you have to understand as a streamer, is that you have to find and rate the right person. Because, and what I mean by the right person is not because they look good or whatnot. It's that when you're sending your community over to somebody, you want to send them over to somebody that can say thank you. Oh, thank you.
Right. And actually care.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to look for the right people, and if you don't look for the right people, then you're just like, well, shit. Why? There's. I mean, everyone's gonna leave. Number one, but number two, people don't know what a raid is at sometimes, especially if you're new. It's like you get raided and just like, oh gosh, a raid. I don't know what this is, but thank you, whoever you are, because I had that happen plenty of times. But also at the same time, I don't want to seem like I'm just raiding them to gain something. Actually, when I raid people, I want to see like, can I make a connection with this person? Can we talk one day? Can we hang out? So on and so forth. That's what I look for when I raid somebody. That's exactly. I think that's how I met Save Us Jay, one of my friends, one of my good buddies here. I think he was playing either Prince of Persia or something like that, Jay, and I raided him, or he was playing. I think he was playing maybe Breath of the Wild. I don't remember, but I met him. I kept joining his streams at the time. Then eventually, he's like, this other black guy, Disbearity, he's been talking to me for a while. Let me go hang out with him now. So, and so in turn, we became really good friends, but most people, like I said, it's just, you have to figure out on, like who to rate, at least somebody that has a type of interest in stream, because sometimes you don't want to rate a person that has that donation button in their thing. That's the worst.
Exactly.
That's the worst of it.
Right. Exactly.
That's the worst.
Exactly.
But streaming is it's different now. Like times has changed. Like I've seen even partner streamers who I watch and stuff. I've seen people basically go down. Not go down. They just didn't go with the times and Twitch, the whole meta, I guess the meta, because there is a Twitch meta, apparently. And the meta is to just play whatever's popular at the moment and then move on to the next popular thing. Like, you had Fall Guys and you had Among Us, and I mean, I can't be that person to do the meta, I guess you could say.
No way. Some of my best streams in the last year have been on games that are like they're obscure.
Same.
Like that's why I like that's why I like playing. Like I played Donkey Kong Country. I played the first 2 Donkey Kong Countries. I had some of my best streams with those games because it brought in like these like niche viewers, like people who only watch stuff like that, and they were so cool. And they're used to watching like speedrunners and shit do it, but they were still like, "Oh, you're doing pretty good. Like this is fun to watch. Like you're cool and blah blah blah."
They seem to like watching like first playthroughs.
Yep.
And it's really cool how because it's kind of like cult classics. I think you get those kind of people from, and like the in-depth information they have on that game.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I mean, so yeah, I think that's probably the worst thing that someone can do at this point in Twitch is to play the popular game. You're gonna get lost if you're playing Fortnite, unless you're like pro level skill. There's probably no point in streaming that game. Any new game that's coming out, like Outriders, like I would love to stream Outriders because I want to play the shit out of it, but I'm not going to, because you have guys like Carnage playing it, and all these top guys. Like no one's gonna see me play that game. I mean, you might increase your chances of someone big rating you because a lot of times they'll look at the bottom of the directory, but
I know for me, my hardest thing for me is just breaking out of my personal shell, because like the way how I do things, at least it's always in the back of my head, like if I like, let's say I have so many games, and I'm just like, what I want to stream, will this game get me on the viewer list? Would this game, because like I'm an RPG, I always tell people I'm the RPG person, I love RPG games, and so I'm like, because I had people, the thing that hurts me is that I had people part of my community that, that of course they don't join up anymore that much or whatnot. They used to tell me all the time, like, Disbearity, what is this game? I'm like, oh, this game is Final Fantasy, or this game is that game. They're like, well, I don't know what that is. I'm out. I'm just like, well, okay. And then, I also love strategy games as well. So like, it's like, okay, I want to stream a strategy game, but then I'm nervous that I'm not gonna get any traction playing playing a strategy game, you know. So it's like it's a dilemma I go through. And then like, well, okay, let's just play a game that I haven't even thought of touching or whatever, you know.
Let me stop you right there for 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have Civ 6?
Civ 6, yes, I do.
Get with me, and I will do a stream with you of Civ 6. I have that game. My only problem is I don't want to play it by myself. I've had it forever. I love the game, but it's not something I know I will play by myself.
Yeah. You just let me know because I need to get the deal. I want to get the DLC for it, but yeah, I have like I said, I have a lot of strategy games. I actually have no one to play with. That's the side part.
That's literally a game I can sit down, have coffee, and just play and have a conversation with some older cats. Bullshit you not. No questions asked. The only thing I think I don't have to that game, I don't think I have what's that DLC called? Gathering Storm. I think I don't have.
Yeah.
But I think I got all the rest of them.
Like I said, you talk to me really. I got a whole bunch of games I think you might even enjoy, bro. If you like Civ 6, I got other games that you might enjoy too. Cause I got, like I said, I'm an RPG strategy. I have every single thing. It's just I have out of my friend group, none of my friends like strategy games because they don't like to use their mind. It's
I
all
like strategy games.
Well, girl, talk too. But yeah, it's like like.
I mean, to be fair, she did stream Crusader Kings once.
Shit.
Oh yeah, the third one when it came out.
You know, that's just the challenging part. Is just finding the right people, to play with. But yeah, if y'all have strategy games, y'all actually want to sit down and play some strategy games, we definitely can play some strategy games with me, with each other and stuff. I would definitely appreciate that because I have plenty. My list is plentiful. Crowe made a tweet say, "Who y'all play strategy?" I said, "Crowe. Look at my Steam library. It's all here, but I have no one to play with."
I remember this.
Yeah, I'll play the hell out of Civ 6. That's fun.
Yeah, so definitely let me know.
Okay, yeah, because I got that.
And
now back on the subject at hand though.
Now,
okay, let me say this. Let me say this in regards to streaming one-on-one, because there's a lot of things going out, and I don't agree with a lot of them. Like streamer etiquette or whatever, I don't agree with it. And I don't agree with it because you got these people who are literally making statements and applying universal rules where there should not be universal rules. You should be able to run your channel how you want. You don't want political stuff in your channel? Just say you don't want political stuff in your channel. You don't mind it? If you do mind it, rather, okay, fine. That's
the
you.
only other streamer etiquette that I can definitely go for, though, is not to advertise yourself in other people's streams. That is let me do that for you.
Right. Yeah, that's actually a personal rule I have.
Because I can do that for you. I can tell, because, again, with my friends, when I'm in my friend's stream, I can be like, man, let me tell you something, y'all. Go check out Dark Riddle. This man was playing some Wolfenstein, The New Order. This man went up to the moon and shot some Nazis on the moon, bro. Check that man out. I love to get shout outs to people. That's the best thing. I'd be like, yo, Crowe, the dude is trash at Apex, but he do got an heirloom though. he has an heirloom, so but definitely check him out though. He's an Octane name, so y'all like Octane? Give him a follow.
I mean, to be
I feel
fair,
like the light skinned dude is the one everybody like to take shots at.
I'd be like, same as Jay. Same as Jay says that he likes Dead by Daylight, but he says he quit it, but then he keeps going back to it like a nerd that he is. But give him a follow. That's Jay. So yeah, that's just the only thing. Like, I just don't like when people I always want to say something here. Like when I see people low key be like, yo, so I'm gonna stream real quick, bro. So thank you. I'm a piece of they hop in, then they say, well, I'm glad I hopped in for the past for the minute or two, but I'm gonna go stream. I'm like, well, you don't have to say you're gonna go stream. Just say I'm going AFK to do my thing. If you say at least something like do my thing, I'm like, okay, I got you.
Let's see. I think most people figure out what I'm really trying to say when I sit there and say I'm about to go do the damn thing. I think most people just be like, all right. And I think they figure out what I'm about to go do instead of me just flat out saying, hey, I'm going to go stream. Exactly. You know what I mean?
There's the guy who came in and followed me the other day and was like, it was some random. And I was playing Rocket League and they were just like, yeah, I'm just want to follow you because I'm trying to build a community on Twitch and blah blah blah. I'm new. Just like, all right, bro. Good luck with that. Good luck just bouncing into people's streams like that.
I always say that, I think Aki hears me say it all the time, like, everybody on Twitch is trash, including myself. It's just the way how you're gonna build yourself. That's just what it is. You got to build yourself. I like, so I throw myself in there. Like, people that put in the effort, good on you. Put up the effort, put panels in your channel, make your brand do whatever that you gotta take. The people that don't put up the effort, like I said, there are two types. The hobbyist. If you're a hobbyist, that is perfectly okay. Do your hobby thing. You want to just pop on the stream, go ahead. That is perfectly fine. But
there's actually three kinds. There's a third too.
What's the
the
third
people
one?
who expect handouts.
Yes, those. Yes. Mm-hmm. But we don't deal with those people because they don't exist at least in my head. They don't. But yeah, it's just like, if you now, like, example, there are a couple of people that I know, especially like you, Jay. See, let me tell you, I'm gonna hop on my boy Stabless Jay. My man, he's a business streamer. He don't know it yet though. My man spends so much money on equipment, but he's not utilizing his equipment. I tell this man all the time, you gotta hop on the YouTube train. Hop on this. Get what you need to find your schedule, your working schedule, optimize your daily life, get on the train and utilize your stuff.
One thing I will add to all this too is that people, like, even as a hobbyist, people who are trying to make even just like a nominal amount of money on this streaming platform, or any platform, need to realize that there's actual work involved. There's very few people who can just get on, play a game, and make money doing it. Like, whether you're on YouTube doing something or you're on Twitch doing something, it takes time, it takes money, it takes like patience, and it takes work. It's not just about turning a stream on, going live, shutting it off, and going to your next thing. Like, there's preparation, there's streaming, and there's post-production stuff. Like, all that stuff matters. And if you're not willing to do that work, you're probably not going to see growth. And don't bitch about it when you don't see it. That's just how it is.
Exactly. Thank you.
I'll use myself as an example.
Jay, all right, Jay, you finally getting your ass to YouTube, back into YouTube, man. It took you how long of me yelling at your? See, it took me about 4 or 5 months of me yelling at this dude to grow his YouTube channel, to get on that shit. And now he's finally hopping on it now, and I'm still gonna get on your ass. But see, actually, fun fact, I actually lost friends for just trying to support them in their dreams on, like, I had a friend, I'm not going to say his name, he would complain a lot about him not growing or whatnot, right? And so I would tell him, like, hey, dude, like, keep your head up, keep going, start making your content on YouTube, so on and so forth, and yada, yada. And then, he was like, well, it don't matter. I'm like, dude, it does matter. And so one day he joined my Discord. I was just like, hey, dude, how's your channel going? How's everything going? Like, are you making that YouTube content? He's like, dude, why you always complaining and bitching me on me not, doing this? I'm like, well, cause dude, every other day on Twitter or on whatever in your Discord, you complain every day. It's a never ending cycle with you. And then he's like, well, we're not friends anymore. And then,
damn,
yeah. And so then
I ain't no friend anyway.
And so then other things happened. And then he hopped on the train of my semi-canceling back in November. But like I said, I'm not gonna say his name or anything. He hopped on my name and tried to join the train. But I'm just like, okay, I see where this is going.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Now we're back on the point at hand. Okay. So y'all know how I work and stuff. So when I really, I can be a perfect example towards having time and everything else. Okay. Once I really figured out, okay, what I wanted to do with my content. Okay. Story based. Okay. I looked at my schedule, how I worked, how I did daily life, everything else. I was like, okay, well, let's see how morning shift works all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And once I started doing that, I noticed I had a lot of people. So when I really started to do that, I noticed, okay, I'm appreciative for people who come by my streams for the pure fact, and I will always say this: you one are already waking up early in the morning. You're already getting up, getting yourself started, everything else. For you to not only tell yourself you want to hop on Twitch of all places early in the morning, and then want to come by, whether you're getting ready for work, whether you're already at work, whether you just sitting around chilling, you want to come by my channel and chill and talk, whatever, have a cup of coffee, just sit there and watch, sit there and lurk. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm grateful for that because I actually understand already how much it takes during the daytime for people to want to get themselves going.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a time frame for everybody. There is a time frame for everybody. It's a matter of, now I do have my days. Like, I won't sugarcoat it. I get up. I'll sit there, have a seat right here. Drink my coffee, put my coffee down. I sit there and look at that screen and be like, I really just don't feel like going live.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be, and you know, and y'all know, I'll be honest about it. Say straight up, I can't do it this morning, y'all. I'm sorry. As much, and that's why I tell people, like, one thing you got to know is your limitations.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know your limitations. And knowing with how much I do during the day and how much I have to deal with during the day, it's surprising that I dream as much as I do, honestly. But I also know when I'm at my limit with it, and I know when to actually just have a seat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you always want to try to find something new for you to try to do. You know what I mean? Like, like today I sat there and, like I said, I put up a whole bunch of videos on my YouTube channel because I wanted to do that. I sat there and I told Nuggy last night, hey, you got to start getting on me about doing auditions for VAs because I keep telling myself to do it. I got the stuff for it. I can do it. It's just a matter of me getting that push to just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'll tell myself I'm gonna do it here, and here, but then I either get home or I get up in the morning and I just won't do it. You know what I mean? So sometimes, yeah, you do need that motivation.
Yeah.
Sometimes it isn't. It's you, but it's also you just not having that motivation to do it. So sometimes you do need that extra hand or extra help, or somebody just telling you, hey, you know what? Go ahead and do it. You know what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
You live right now. Go ahead and do it now while you live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, I get everybody, like I keep telling everybody has different rules regarding their channel. Like, what I will allow in my channel, I know most people would not allow in theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like I told people, like, and War Dog's a witness to this. He even was like, dude, don't you think it's about time for you to change games now? Because you ain't looking like you enjoying playing this right now. That's what I thought about it. I was like, yeah, you know what? Time to change. Because I knew I wasn't. I knew I was upset, and I knew I was highly upset, and I knew I wasn't enjoying it.
And see, I wish I was like you. Because like, when I try to like play games like League and stuff, I just like I said, I always like I told y'all, I just in my head, you know, I'm like, well, am I gonna get the right growth out of like playing? Because, you know, if I want to stream League of Legends, sometimes I want to stream League of Legends. You know, I got me and my boy Derper. We do a queue all the time. It's just at the end of the day, it's just like, will I get my viewership out of it? You know, will I grow, so on and so forth, and it just makes me nervous about that, and I shouldn't be nervous like that. But that's just. You know.
Well, see, it's not necessarily about being nervous about playing it, boss man.
Mm-hmm.
It's about, at the end of the day, okay. Let me tell like this, because I don't care about what emotions you show, long as they're legit emotions. You ain't faking the shit. That's being my own thing. Okay, there's a point where you have to tell yourself, you know what I mean? Hey, it's time for me to put this shit down. I'm getting frustrated. I'm getting annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind playing it, but come on. At some point, like you got to be able to tell yourself, you know what, this just ain't working out, and I'm not enjoying it. You know, either switch games or take a break, do something else. 90% of the time, I just tell you switch games and just be done with it, rather than take a break. Because you already streaming, you know, you ain't gonna really want to take a break unless it's like to piss or have a drink or something. So when you know you get to that point, you have to be able to tell yourself, hey, it's time to switch games. You know what I mean? That's the best way I can tell you how to deal with that.
Yeah.
And that's usually what I do. If I feel that's the first time, and I even told Wardog this yesterday. I was like, that's the first time I ever rage quit a league game. The first time ever. I've never rage quit a league game. Never.
That can't go happen.
That's so you know, for me to rage quit a league game, I was pretty pissed.
For me, it wasn't exactly league. For me, it was Dead by Daylight. Like, my fun got sucked out of that game, dude. Like, I used to play that game a lot. Like, I put over 600 hours in that game. Then eventually, like, you know, because I had to carry some people in that game. It got to a point where I'm just like, I wasn't having any fun because I either had to get chased by the killer and got to do certain things. And I was just like, all right. I got pissed at the game. I was like, all right, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore.
It's like, matter of fact, while we on the subject of one-on-one, just like some people allow backseat gaming and I don't. So I have to actually literally keep that in mind when I go into somebody else, if I choose to like actually be active in somebody else's channel. Because I'll sit there and I read chat and I'm just sitting here, I'll be sitting here and I just be like, man, this backseat gaming though. Y'all want to hold her hand too and just walk her through the whole damn game?
Bruh.
And I have to remember that this isn't my channel though, so I can't really say that. You see what I mean?
Bruh, let me tell you, we all had this person, but we all have the backseat gamer. Let me tell you who's the worst offender of the backseat gamer. Okay, and my boy Jay's about to know who I'm about to talk about here. My good friend, Mr. Works for Tips. That man, by himself, is the worst offender of them all. When I first met Tips, Tips like, Jared, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do this. And Jay at one point is like, Tips, let him do what he needs to do first. Like I'm like Tips, okay. Because what I like to do is I somewhat do allow backseat to a certain extent, but like this, if I die too much in a certain area, then I'm okay with you saying, you know, give me a tip on how to do it, right?
Very much so.
I'm okay with that. But when you're just sitting there saying, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do this, why don't you get your ass on the game yourself and play it then, my dude?
Exactly. And that's what I be talking about. It's different. It's different when like you know, most of the games I'm playing, I'm first time playing it. So it's like, okay. I get like, it's one thing to discuss, okay, you want to discuss like the lore without giving out spoilers and stuff like that. That's fine. That's cool. I'm all for that all day long because I get it. People love the game. Like BioShock, everybody and mama want to talk about that. Okay. But it's one thing when you're saying, go this way and do this, go this way, do that, go this way, do this. It's like, bruh, I don't find that okay. Yeah. Like, now, if I just die multiple times and then it's just like, then I'll be like, yeah, somebody tell me what the hell I'm supposed to do here. Because it's just getting on my nerves.
I don't know. It's insane. Like, well, you know, because it's like when I was playing Zelda for the first time, you know, if I got too long in a puzzle, I would ask either Jay or Tips. But Tips took it a little bit too far. Jay, though, he was like, Jay gave me subtle hints to like get me going and get me to the right direction. Like, I'm like, you don't got to tell me the full thing, but if you know you want to give me some subtle hints and stuff to do certain things, then that would be cool. And that's what Jay did. You know, Tips would be like, okay, bro, tell you like it is. Do this, do that. But at least right now, though, Tips, he's gotten a lot better at not doing that. A lot better. Which, you know, I don't like, you know, it's like, I don't ban people for outright backseat games. I give them that chance first to redeem, you know, they got to go through that redemption arc, you know? They have to go through that redemption arc.
Now, that part there, if I know you, I'll let it slide. If I don't know you and you just some random person, I got it as tags. I have it coming up in chat. If you just do it, I'm just gonna ban you.
Like, bro, let me tell you. So a couple years
But
back,
that's only because I had a game spoiled for me that I refuse to play now because of that reason.
Oh, I agree with you. I actually had that twice, by the way. So the story for me was when I first bought this game, Lords of the Fall. You might have heard of it. It's like a Dark Souls S
Yeah.
kind of game. I wanted to play the game so bad. I wanted to play it because my family gave me, I think, $50 Steam card for Christmas that year. Okay, I was so excited. I bought the game because it was on sale for like $25, and I wanted to go stream it. This was the first game, by the way. While playing it, some guy was literally, we told him to stop, but he kept on just straight up backseat gaming me to the point where I was just like, I don't even want to play. I actually rage quit. I never rage quit off stream before. That was my first time I ever did. So I literally alted for it by stream. I said, I don't feel like streaming anymore because the game, like that one dude sucked all the fun out of playing this game because he was telling me, you gotta do this weapon, you gotta do that weapon. I'm like, I can't figure this stuff out for myself, and so that pissed me off. I said fuck it. The second game was, it was someone who I knew, one person who I knew, and it was another random. So I'm playing The Witcher 3. I have never went back to it to this day. So I got The Witcher 3 for free because number one, my friend, she gave me, she bought a graphics card and it came with, came with it or whatever. You redeem it, yada yada, right? Got it for free. While playing it, I was fighting this boss. Okay, I was learning how to fight the boss. I had people in the chat, including a friend that I knew, was like, "You got it," because I want to say she rushed through the game. She beat it. All right, I haven't beat it. I take my time with RPG games. Cause I want to get into the lore, all that kind of stuff, right?
Very much so.
While playing it, she and somebody else was like telling me, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta, against this boss. I'm like, dang, I just want to sit here and figure it out for myself. If I want to die, let me die. I understand, like, yeah, I understand that you want to help me through it, but at the same time, let me figure it out, because I could have possibly figured it out by myself. And I literally figured it out by myself. But at that point, I was just like, I still to this day have not ever went back to Witcher 3. Like, I try to go back into it, but then I'm just like, in the back of my mind, just like, I can't do it anymore. Because that one the simple moment. So if you backseat game me enough, it comes to the point where I just don't feel like playing those games anymore. Because you just sucked all the fun out.
I 100% agree with that. Like I said, somebody did that when I was doing the Wild Arms run through. It was the second one. The second one just gave the end story. I'm like, all right, I have not played the game at all. I can't. It's like I already know what's gonna happen. So what's the point?
Yeah.
Now, if it was a case of, say, something like, let's just throw something out there. Mass Effect. It's got various endings, various paths you can take, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I could have still played it and probably could have redid it from the beginning, et cetera, et cetera. But, this is the RPG, it's one story, one way, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So there's no way I could replay that. It just... And I'm still hot about that. So now it's just like, okay, if you're a random person who just coming in and decide just to do that, yeah, I'm just gonna ban you. I'm just flat out gonna ban you because one, I don't want my hand held through a first playthrough of a game that I've never played.
Yeah.
I don't want that. Like me and you just said, it's one thing if we're dying a bunch of times and we just can't figure it out, then we say something. Then do something, but for you just to flat out just try to hold my hand through the whole game is just no.
Yeah.
That makes me not want to play.
Yeah.
If I want to get carried through a game, I'll ask to be carried through a game, but that's not why I play games.
Yeah. Agreed. Before we wrap up here, Twilight, what are your last thoughts for the streaming 101?
I think that it helps when you first start out to find a small community to kind of teach you the basics or the ropes, I guess, the stream etiquette and everything. But I really don't have that many tips, to be honest. I'm still figuring it out myself.
That's perfectly fine. I mean, it's a road/adventure that you got to go on. You got to get your adventure party. Find out what class.
And so many people, I think, take so many breaks too. Like that's what I've been experiencing myself.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can see with the breaks though, because you don't want to sit there and force yourself to like stream every day. You want to sit there, take it like at least for me, like I stream 3 to 4 days out of the week, and then the rest of the days I like focus on the YouTube side of things, and then kind of rest up on that. Enjoy the games. Like, I mean, I've been playing my Switch for the past like 2 days straight, surprisingly.
Yeah, burnout can be real. So I guess a tip I could think of is just take time for yourself and make sure that you prioritize your mental health and shit.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Crowe? You got any thoughts, my man?
You guys kind of put the nail in the coffin pretty early. I was like, ooh, yeah, I was gonna say that. Oh, well, fuck, he got that too.
Yeah, I'm questioning, like, I don't know how people, like, I know back then there were some people that used to stream like 12 hours straight. I'm like, are you sure you're going to stream like 12 hours straight? My maximum hours to stream is like 4 to 5. 6 is if I'm really feeling good about it. But there were people back in the day that I used to stream like 12 hours straight. I'm like, you sure you gonna stream this? Like, yeah, I got this, But damn, you must got nothing to do like then. Fuck. Got nothing to worry about.
To be fair, I do it from time to time, but I gotta be full blown just in the zone to do that.
Yeah. Like,
but I take breaks in between games though too. So every time I beat a game, I'm taking a couple of 2-3 days break before I just jump on the next one.
And that's what
I'm
people
doing right
that's
now.
what people got to. What's that word I'm looking for too? Like, speaking with breaks with games and breaks in general, people got to recognize that as a streamer. Because here's the thing that sucks as a streamer is that people know that let's say you need to go on a bathroom break or something like that, right? People are scared that like if you go on this bathroom break and stuff like that or whatnot, you're gonna lose viewership because you're not there. People got to normalize that. Hey, we're people too. Even though we're streamers, we're people too. If we say, hey, we're going on a break, as you guys as viewers or community members should be like, you know what? I gotta go on a break. Well, I'll go on a break too. Or watch somebody else at the time during the break. And then like, yeah, with what you're saying with like break during games, so like. So I'm the same way. I don't want to sit there and beat a game. Like, we just played It Takes Two. Me and my boy Tips. I'm going to take like a day or two break before I hop on the next game, which the next one's going to be a way out. Because, you don't want to sit there and constantly keep going forward, because going forward. That's why, like, with I'm doing that 30 game challenge, right? It's like I beat 2 games already. I'm going to take a break, play something different, come back on the list. The list is going to be done throughout the entire year. I'm not trying to rush through the list.
Yeah.
It just gives me a plan to like stay on track or something like that, If it stuff like that. But that's just how I feel. But I agree with everything that y'all said though, honestly. I really do. I really do.
Like right now, I already got 21 games beat.
I think in my panel section I have a complete list of games that I played on stream throughout the years. And I think I have like 40 games, like almost 40.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a list of completed games, but those are all the games that I played throughout my years of streaming so far. So,
I got 21 games beat, and I am not even a year in since I started doing it.
Also,
matter of fact, I don't even think I'm 6 months in.
Also, I want to normalize this for some people too. If you are a content creator, okay, especially a live streamer / YouTuber, what you need to start doing, especially if you play these games on stream, is to start porting your content over onto YouTube or whatever else that needs to get ported over to you. If you do playthroughs or games and stuff, Twitch is not the place to store your gameplays, your playthroughs. The service is a live streaming website. It's for live streaming. You're not, unless you're part of the 1% to 2% of people, they're not going to go back into your VODs to watch your content. It's best for you to port your videos over to another platform like YouTube than to keep them on Twitch. I know it's going to suck to port your videos over, but at the end of the day, that's pretty much the right thing to do. Especially if you want to talk about growth, that's just one way. Because like I said, Twitch is they keep your VODs, but they're not. People just don't go back and look at VODs like that, and those videos that you put onto YouTube, edit them to the point where you, at the end of the video or in the middle of the video, be like, hey, come if you want to watch these playthroughs live, come over to the Twitch, and vice versa. That's how you want to do it, at least in my opinion. Like if you do like a Monster Hunter playthrough, right? You kill monsters on there, especially Monster Hunter Rise is really popping off right now. Post your hunts onto YouTube. They could be like 5-minute hunts, all of them, whatever. And then bring them, and then in the middle of the description or whatever, say, hey, you want to watch this live? Come to Twitch. That's just what some people have. That's just, I know it's, like I said, it's going to be hard to find the time to do so. But if you're on the business side of things, want growth, that's just something to think about at the end of the day. At least in my honest opinion. But
that honestly, you saying that's partly why I just put my in-game stuff on my YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally, just for that reason. It's like if you want to see the actual playthrough,
mm-hmm.
like come over to Twitch and see it when I do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I also, if I record my streams, since my computer is powerful enough, I record my streams while I'm or whatever. So I have the stream as the backup, but I use my recordings to like edit, to separate audio tracks and stuff to separate my voice from the recording and so on and so forth, so that it can easily be ported, I guess you could say. I just go ahead, I record, fully edit it, then do what I got to do. Tell people, hey, come over to like I said, go over to Twitch. You want to catch that live, and that's what people got to normalize doing, because. Like I said, with my pet peeve, I just don't like it when I see people say, hey guys, come check out my YouTube channel. But you go into their YouTube channel and there ain't no content on there. Last content was posted a year ago. But then they ask themselves the question, I'm not growing. And now you know why. Now you know why. But that I would say, like, I think we should go ahead and wrap it up right there. I feel like today podcast, in my opinion, was great. I enjoyed today. What about you guys though?
Oh yeah, definitely, totally.
Like, we had good conversations today, honestly. Really.
I was gonna say we didn't even go through all the topics.
We didn't. Yeah, we got so hung up on other things, but but we got so much into the conversation though. That's what it's all about, though. That's honestly, at least in my opinion, that's what it's all about. Just going through what we know and what we love. You blame Disbearity, of course. You blame me because I'm using my race card. Because I'm black. I'm playing. But thank y'all so much for coming out to the podcast. I really do appreciate it. As you guys know, the podcast is at least every 2 weeks. So hopefully, probably most likely by, let's say, maybe around not the 7th, but the 14th of April. We should hopefully, if you guys will look at your schedules and stuff, let me know. That will be the next day for the podcast. So if you guys have, again, any type of subjects you guys want to speak about, don't be afraid to let any of us part of the podcast know. That'd be greatly appreciated, honestly. But my name is Disbearity. Appreciate y'all coming on through. What about, there you go, Ridley, you can give out your outro there.
I'm Dark Riddler, voice of the voiceless. Check out my Twitch and my YouTube for all my brand of story-based RPGs and games. And I also do take, if you're there and you have points to redeem, as long as it's a story-based game, I do have a point system where you can pick a game for me to play.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Twilight. Go your little
Twilight Woven. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Well, her name is Twilight Woven. She's a female gamer. There you go.
Yeah, that's about it.
Very and powerful,
Mm-hmm.
She does what she does. There you go. All right, Jay just said he just gave y'all a follow. There you go. Just because y'all cool with Spaceman here. Yes, sir. That's what it is. That's what it's about. And that's what this podcast is for. Let's see here. We got Mr. Crowe. Crowe, you can give out your outro, brother.
Get King Clad Crowe. I don't give a fuck.
There you go. There you go. That's it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Actually,
You done woke up from that nap, huh?
I know you needed that nap.
Let me turn off the camera so I can drool in peace. D.I.P.
Well, Aki, give out your outro, Aki. Tell us about yourself. It's a sleepy time.
Look, hey, in my defense, I'm trying to keep myself from repeating something that happened to me when I first started streaming. So let me go and put it that way. Me falling asleep in that damn chair.
Hey, we
So
all
let me
hey,
go.
we all need to fall asleep on stream at least one time. It's gonna happen. Don't know
I've
when.
done it once.
I done it once too.
I've done it.
And I have the
I've
video.
done
for
it a few times.
I had, and Jay would not let me live. Jay and everybody would not let me live this down.
I've done it a few times, honestly.
Yeah,
Never
y'all,
happened. Jay, you be careful.
yeah, Jay. So y'all want to watch me fall asleep? I'm gonna post a video in the chat, but and also for Shagsworth, y'all, make sure to check him out, give him a follow. He's a cool guy, really nice to talk to, really chill. He has some really great opinions and stuff, but definitely go ahead and check him out as well. Give him a follow. Even though he's still in the call, he had to leave because he has to do RRL stuff, but he appreciates y'all, and thanks y'all for coming on through as well. But yeah, like I said, today was a great podcast. Let's see, I don't think there's no one to rate or host today, but yeah, there's no one who I wish to host rate at the moment. unless y'all got somebody throwing down. But today was a good day though. I appreciate y'all for coming on through and hanging out within the podcast and stuff. Thank y'all for coming out. Thank y'all for watching. Peace out, everybody, and we'll definitely see y'all next time, homies.
Oh yeah.
See y'all next time.
Bye.
All right.
Bye bye.